We're exploring a form of alternative therapy here. Now, I want you to know something. This is something that I don't believe works, but it does. Okay, in other words, I went into it thinking, yeah, this is a lot of bull. And this was like many years ago, and I actually tried these techniques, and I use it for all kinds of stuff. And it just so happens we found these ladies who do it, and I asked them to come on the show without even knowing they do that. It's supposed to work like acupuncture, but trust me when I tell you it's much better. You can do it yourself. It's not invasive at all. Let's welcome our guest right away. Lauren Miller. She's an author, stress relief expert. She runs a business helping people deal with stress. And you also do, of course, though, physical activity, right?
Well, I have before, because I have my second-degree black belt in Taekwondo, so I've incorporated all of it to mind, body, spirit.
And your name is Lauren Miller, and your website, laurenemiller.com. Lindy Royer works with you, and
she's one of my clients.
Plus a client, and does kind of the same thing.
She's a PT, and so
Physical
we're getting together
therapist.
to do a stress relief workop in the new year.
Okay, so you're going to do keep us informed on this.
And that's on my website. The information is on my website.
It is on your website. Good. Lauren E. Miller, Lauren E. Miller.com.
And stress relief,
the stress
relief site.com has the specifics.
Stress relief.
For the teleseminar.
It's right down there.
It's
right down there. I can see it. Okay, now let's talk techniques that you can apply. Now, the one we're talking about is called EFT. What is it? Emotional freedom?
Emotional freedom technique. It was actually founded by Gary Craig. And it's a phenomenal technique. Just to give you some history as to how I got into it, I suffered from post-traumatic stress syndrome. After 16 chemos, I had the Red Devil chemo, which was red.
So you really had some serious cancer.
Absolutely. It was stage 3, and it spread through my lymphs. They gave me about 50% chance of survival 3 years ago, and I'm in full remission.
Full remission.
Full remission.
You look very healthy. You're doing well. And do you credit some of this to the technique?
Absolutely.
Why?
And it's crazy. And I'm like you, because when I first heard of it, my parents called me up. They said there's this crazy tapping technique that people are doing that's working instantly for every kind of stress.
It really
so
does.
At that time, I had one session with a woman who was practicing this, and I was cleared. Then I could see red. And
I'm all for people who help other people do things, but I never went to anyone. I just saw it and saw a book. I got a book and did it myself.
Yep, absolutely. You can.
So, and what about you? How did you find Lauren?
I had heard about EFT, and like you, I found a book. I looked it up online. I found Gary Craig's website. I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease about 10 years ago, lupus, and the doctors couldn't help me. They just said, well, wait till it gets worse. We'll put you on a lot of steroids. That wasn't a very good alternative for me. So I started seeking out other alternatives, found EFT, and then just about a year ago, I found Lauren, and we started
on the web.
Through a friend actually.
Now, where do you see people at your office, or and then you have seminars? Where's your office?
Out of my house. So people come to my home.
Okay, but they can find you on that website, and then it's right there. So let's talk about the technique. Can we show it? Just do it.
Absolutely. So when there's a problem, there's a lot of grief going on, and the holidays trigger the grief situation.
Or if you have a specific problem.
Any specific problem, you can use it for this. So you start out either here or here.
Okay, and by the way, don't try to capture everything here. You can always call for more information or search on the internet.
And I have a lot on my website.
They call these the karate chop points, and you're stimulating them. Or some points here that they're kind of sore on everyone.
2 inches down, 2 inches over.
Yeah, and you rub them, and then you make a statement.
You state it, even though I am experienced this.
Okay, let's do a specific now that you did. When you were on chemo, that red chemo's scared.
I made the connection. I had a post-traumatic stress syndrome. I had a link between red and the trauma.
So you said even though, or maybe we can do something for the holidays.
That would be wonderful.
Do one. Like
so even though I'm just going to do one for overall stress, even though I like to get specific, but for the sake of the show, we'll do it overall. Even though I'm overwhelmed with all of these responsibilities that I have before me, and I feel as if I can't accomplish them all, I'm willing to love and accept myself just as I am. And I usually add a positive affirmation, which is a choices method by Pat Harrington. And I choose to accomplish all of my tasks easily.
Now, this is a statement you repeat 3 times, right?
3 times.
That's how I do it. And then you give a shortcut to it, right?
So then after you've laid out your truth, ruthless honesty, even though I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself.
Right, and by the way, while you're doing it, you can either do the karate chop or this.
Or the
then what do you do?
Then you move through a round. It's called a round, and you choose
tapping round.
A tapping round,
and show the points quickly.
A trigger word.
Here.
Right here.
Side of the eye.
Under the eye.
Under the nose.
Under the nose. Under the lip. Collarbone. under the arm, and the top of the head.
Okay, and then I had one under
and
the
then
breast.
the liver point is 3 inches down
so
from the neck.
So as you tap
the right
these in a
side.
sequence, you repeat a shortcut to the phrase
to link you to your experience.
Right.
This what's your predominant emotion? This overwhelm or grief?
Overwhelmed.
I'm overwhelmed.
Right.
Overwhelmed.
Exactly.
Overwhelmed. And you continually
now,
work through.
People, if you think we're nuts, I don't care. Because I'm going to tell you something.
I'm driving
if you
and
do it, if you have
me.
a fear, if you have a stress, I promise you, because I am more skeptical. Paula will tell you, I'm more skeptical than anybody.
And you don't have to believe that it'll work because it's mechanical.
That's
it's
right.
How
You don't have to believe it. So it's not one of these
wonderful
things where you're going, I believe. Okay,
you don't have to.
Then do you do this part? Do you do the hand part?
So, when I'm working with my clients and we're unveiling a lot of deep issues that cause the emotional trauma, because most of what we do is 98% subconscious. So when we do a little exploration back to the past, then I'll get more specific. Sometimes
and then there's a technique after that where you do the hands and you do the fingers.
Left brain, right brain activity.
Yeah, you try to confuse your brain, and then you hum a little happy song.
Because basically what it is, the basic statement of EFT is that the cause of all negative emotions is due to a block in the body's energy system.
And so what are you doing? Tapping
so
that,
basically,
stimulating?
It's like the deer in the headlights. When we're stressed, we feel fear, worry, doubt, which is basically I can't handle it. I won't be able to do this, and I might die in my situation.
And you have to admit that.
You have to be ruthlessly honest, because your body knows the truth
and say,
anyway.
Even though I feel this way,
even though I feel
accept
this way, and the more emotion you can put behind it, the truth, the quicker it works.
And Lauren,
your energy.
Lindy, what did you use it for?
A lot of things. So I had some residual health issues because they told me that this was never going to go away. One of the things that happened with me that was really interesting in the last 6 months is it destroyed my thyroid. So I've been on thyroid medication for the last...
And is this working?
I just last month had to cut down my thyroid medication.
That
now,
is wonderful.
I can't say it's EFT. I don't know, but it's pretty unusual.
I would love to hear from people if they've done this, but you can log on to this website, stressreliefsite.com. And these women are going to give a stress relief seminar, and we'll let you know more about it as we get closer to it, because I love this kind of stuff.